And now, the winner of multiple Filmfare Awards, an actor par excellence, the star of the film, like the star of the films like Wake Up Sid, Rajniti, Rockstar and Animal, the scion of the illustrious Kapoor family, and the grandson of Mr. Raj Kapoor, a superstar in his own right, Mr. Ranbir Kapoor. I now request the team to please play the IFFI Centenary special video.
My whole existence, my being, is cinema. आवारा हूँ या गर्दिश में हूँ आसमान का तारा हूँ आवारा हूँ आवारा हूँ
In a world of heroes, he dared to be human.
For I believe that every human being, there is a beautiful self of his which is the clown. And that clown, even at the cost of my tears, tries to make somebody happy.
The ever luminous star of Indian cinema, the soul and heart of the silver screen. Raj Kapoor was a storyteller who saw beauty in the flawed, the real, and the hopeful. Raj Kapoor's impact endures through generations. His influence is as alive today as it was decades ago. The legacy of Raj Kapoor thrives to shape contemporary cinema, with modern filmmakers drawing inspiration from his rich storytelling, powerful emotions, and social themes. And his unforgettable music continues to inspire pop culture. His films didn't showcase grand victories. Instead, they celebrated the journey of a common man, fallible, resilient, and ever evolving. Unlike the conventional larger-than-life protagonists of the time, his heroes were ordinary men who weren't afraid to make mistakes. What made them extraordinary was their ability to acknowledge their flaws and emerge stronger with a renewed sense of morality. From the heartland of India to global stages, he took our stories beyond borders, showing the world how the heart of India beats in every frame. His movies, especially Avara and Shri 420, were celebrated in Russia, embracing him as one of their own. Raj Kapoor's stories dug deep into society's fabric, revealing contemporary struggles through characters with understated depth and timeless relevance. Celebrating 100 years since his birth, Raj Kapoor's cinematic legacy shines brighter than ever, alive with the spirit and depth that defined his work.
I can tell you one thing. This Raj Kapoor had to learn a lot to know cinema.
His films continue to inspire, reflecting the soul of Indian cinema for generations past and those to come.
I dream cinema. I breathe cinema. I live cinema.
I don't have to introduce Ranbir to you all. I guess you all know him. And Ranbir, for me, it's. Pardon? Felicitation. Oh, I'm sorry. I was in too much of a hurry. I think bigger hurry than you are to hear Ranbir.
May I now request Shri Alok Kumar, DGP Goa, Shri Sanjay Jaju, Secretary, Srimati Vrunda Manohar Desai, Joint Secretary Films, Shri Pratul Kumar, Managing Director, NFDC, and Joint Secretary from and Shekhar Kapoor, Festival Director, 55th IFFI, to please join us on stage to felicitate our guests. May I request Shri Sanjay Jaju sir and Shri Alok Kumar sir to please present our guests with a shawl and bilingual brochure. May I now request Shri Shekhar Kapoor to please present our guests with a customized My stamp issued by the Department of Posts on the birth centenary celebrations of 4 legends, Shri Raj Kapoor, Shri Mohammad Rafi, Shri Akineni Nageswara Rao, and Shri Tapan Singha. May I also request Srimati Vrunda Manohar Desai ma'am to please present our guests a Sare Gama mini Karwa, which is exclusively designed and curated with nearly 350 songs for all the 4 maestros, sponsored by Sare Gama. And now I request Shri Pratul Kumar sir to please present our guests with the IFFI memento. Thank you to all the esteemed dignitaries for joining us with the felicitation. Thank you so much. And now over to Mr. Rahul Rawail with a gracious request to commence the conversation.
Thank you.
I haven't received so many gifts ever in my life. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Extremely excited, honored, and privileged, not just to be here at the IFFI Film Festival, but also to speak about Mr. Raj Kapoor. It's really luck that I was born in this family, and I'm extremely grateful and proud about everything that he has done for the films, for the film industry, and I'm really happy to talk anything about it. So thank you so much for being here. Love you too.
Ranbir, I find myself extremely lucky to be here today. I worked with Raj Sahab. He was my guru. I worked with your father, who was more than a childhood friend. And now I'm here with you, which is like being with a son. So being with 3 generations, I think is a great thing. We are here to talk about Raj Sandrit here. What has his influence been on you? I know you were very young when he passed away.
Yeah, I think that's always been such a large question. I've always been asked this question wherever I've gone since the time I've been in the film industry. Um, I think when I could remember anything in life, I remembered him as a grandfather, as Dadaji, who was this big man with blue eyes. When me and my sister, when we went to his house, he used to take us to his room and he used to hide these caramel toffees in his fridge. And he used to make us stand in a line, all of us, all the cousins, Karina, Karishma, my sister, myself. And he used to ask us to do salam and to sing Havara Ho and to give him a kiss on his cheek. And then we were bribed with a caramel toffee. So that is, my memories of him are very personal. I got to know him more after I started understanding movies, after I started understanding who he was, what his contribution was. Of course, me being the first grandson who, with the name Kapoor in the family, so I of course got a lot of love and attention. When my mom used to fire me or shout at me, I used to call him up, and he used to call up my mom and fire her. So I used that as a leverage also. So like every grandkid with their grandfather, my relationship with him was that. He passed away when I was 6 years old. And I still remember I have this vivid memory that, of course, I didn't know what death was and all of those things. But we were in Devnar Cottage, and all the children were upstairs playing, and we were looking down in the garden, and we could just see a sea of people. I've never seen so many people in my life. And I really understood that day, okay, this man has some standing, has some value. He's done something. That's why so many people have come to pay him respect. So that memory will always stay with me, especially when they took his body, and there was the entire Chimbu road was filled with people. So these are my early memories of him.
I remember the day you were born, and Sao was ecstatic. It's the first grandson, and I could see that pleasure in his eyes, which I'm sure I wish he was here today to see what you've achieved. It's really tremendous. Tell me, Ranbir, I just noted down two things. As an actor, how do you interpret the themes he explored in his films?
I think Raj Kapoor, the filmmaker, always explored different themes at different times of his life. If you see his earlier films like Avara, which was based on casteism, it tells you a story about how an individual and the surroundings that he's been brought up in, what is that impact on that person and what that person becomes. If you see Sri Char Subis, he spoke about greed, about the underprivileged, and really trying to make something with their lives. And I think the latter part of the last few films that he made, he really made strong films with really strong Indian moral values. Spoke about the society in such an honest and frank way, still making it really commercial and really entertaining. He made movies, woman-centric films, where he spoke about the oppression of a woman in a patriarchal society and against a misogynistic individual. If you see Prem Rogi, he spoke about widow remarriage. If you see talk about Ram Teri Ganga Meli, he actually compared the protagonist Ganga to the river Ganga, how it starts so pure and by the time it reaches down because of society and human habits, it really impures the person. So I think another big example I think of Mr. Raj Kapoor is after he made Mera Naam Joker, which was a colossal disaster. He lost so much of money, his house was mortgaged, and I hear so many stories from my family what was happening at that time. He had the courage to make a film with newcomers. A 50-year-old man making a film for the youth. That means that he really kept with the times. He was not stuck in a cocoon. He was not somebody who was high up in his ivory tower. He was constantly in touch with the common man. He was constantly in touch with the mass. He was constantly in touch with what kind of stories, people would like to see. And really to make a film like Bobby at that time, at the age of 50, which spoke to teenagers, is something which is truly amazing.
I remember those days because I was very much part of